K-Command Super Shredder is insane. K-Command Super Shredder is bananas. It is unlike Moonshadow, unlike Rat King, spawn tokens trigger Super Shredder. So combining that with Glaring Fleshraker is really ridiculous. Super Shredder goes really crazy. Sephiroth also goes really crazy when you're playing a bunch of spawn tokens with K Command and Fleshraker. Sephiroth it's been like a weird combo piece where you set up for a bunch of spawn tokens and then Sephiroth just totally ends the game. And it's like, usually when we play mono black Eldrazi, we're more of a mono black deck that's just splashing K Command and sometimes Thought-Knot Seer, and now we're more of a colorless deck that's trying to really, really utilize like the cheap artifact cantrips alongside Glaring Fleshraker to go off. I'm 3-0 in the league with this deck right now. This deck has been really, really sick. I think you could build it a few different ways. You could maybe play Urza Saga in the shell. I don't think Urza Saga is super good when you are like, we're not super artifact focused, but it's fine. It is what it is. We're not going to talk about it too much. Sideboard is a little different in the actual league. I played against Domain Zoo. I'm like, oh, I forgot. I didn't respect Domain Zoo. I did win anyways. I actually, I'm not even really sure. I think I had one more Graveyard Trespasser, and then I can't remember what the other card was, but I ended up throwing a couple Edicts in there, which are also good against Affinity. Okay. So this has been a mess of a deck. I'm also a little sick today, but I'm too excited to let that bother me. All right, so Chromatic Star fixing our mana. Field is good with Super Shredder, not with Sephiroth. Let me put this in the yard for you. The second Saga feels good most of the time, but it's just like, in general, Urza Saga has diminishing returns. And so if you only play one, you don't ever realize those diminishing returns. But I just kind of think we have room for one other non-Field of Ruin colorless utility land, and this is the one we're going with. Okay, I'm gonna look at my top card. If it's Glaring Fleshraker, I will not play the other Bauble. It's another Bauble, so now I will play this Bauble. I'm gonna crack main phase, even though it's worse against Thoughtseize. I already have a very Thoughtseizable card. I already have a very Thoughtseizable card, so I want to be playing around Bowmaster a bit more. Not that Bowmaster is a super common card in 2026. Witherbloom Command, kill my Chromatic Star, and then return a Dealt to their hand. I do still get to draw a card here, so it's not really that good. So if I crack the Bauble now, then I'm not really doing a good job playing around Bowmaster because they can still kill my Super Shredder. It's a shame there's no room for airships. It is a shame. For those who are wondering where the airships went, there was definitely a little bit of airship is super well positioned when we start testing it with the card. Like Jeskai was just oh my gosh, they have persist and I've got all graveyard hate in my hand. Airship was just like the most popular card. Ooh. Probably do want to be... I just have so many good options here. I can go Thought-Knot Seer. I can go Nihil Spellbomb, hold up K Command. I can go Chromatic Star, hold up K Command. Do not cut the fourth ritual, Clemenson. The voices have been an all-star against just Blake. I just think voice is unplayable. If you want to play voice, like you're well within your rights. Okay, let's see here. I hardly know her. That Shredder could have been so big. They shuffle away the persist. Not that the Harvester is that scary anyways. They have a second push. Assassin's Trophy, maybe. Bitter Triumph. Taking 3 damage. Alright, you can persist a Harvester of Misery, I guess. Feels like we maybe chose wrong this game. So they go Rumble first. They do not hit like an Archon. I'm playing Leo 2 with 2x voices. I guess I don't know. I just have not really seen Voice of Resurgence again be like a card that seems like it pulls its weight, but willing to believe I'm wrong about that. Possible we're not supposed to K-Command this turn. We're supposed to wait a turn. We still could. Maybe like Field of Ruin and Suck Now, Spellbomb this turn. It's only 4 power here, not too scary. So they play the Trawler. Yeah, I think I'm going to Field and Nihil Spellbomb. I know we're under a good bit of pressure, but we can definitely catch up. Yeah, Persistent Ice Tool is pretty cool for the overlap. The big issue with Golgari Reanimator is you don't have good discard outlets. You have to play like Bitter Triumph and stuff. Yeah, it's a good draw. That's a good draw. Voice isn't really win more. It changes your opponent's gameplay a lot. I wouldn't call the voice of resurgence win more. I would just call it not good. I would call it win less because it is underpowered. If I wanted another 2-mana creature in the main deck of the Birthing Ritual deck, I'd almost definitely play White Orchid Phantom, I think, too. Alright, they keep a card on top. A little bit scared of another hardcast Harvester, I guess. Witherbloom command, kill my spawn token, and mill 3. There's an Emperor of Bones, and there's an Ice Till. And they play Verdant Catacombs. Cracks the Verdant Catacombs. We did 5-0 the last league. I think it's better to K-Command now. They should be dead if they don't have anything. Top or bottom, chat? Top or bottom, the K-Command. Yeah, I've got a Stranguru Geist in a deck that's kind of similar to this, and with the Cauldron loops. Because if you go Undying Creature, Cauldron, Ballista, it's an infinite powder on your Super Shredder. Mill 4, put up to 2. I remember we played this card in Standard. 2 creatures or lands from the graveyard to hand. Witherbloom Command isn't great at this matchup. It's great against Boros. I believe that. I believe that Witherbloom Command is good. All right, let's not play with our food. All right, so we're on the draw against Golgari Reanimator. How good is Sheoldred's Edict? Seems probably pretty good. Might cut a Sephiroth. Trespasser seems good. I think it's okay. We already have a bunch of graveyard hate in the main deck. It's probably solid. The Red Suite's weird. I feel like I like the Edicts to clear like a big creatures if they stick. Maybe that's not, and it also kills Ice Till pretty well. I think on the draw I'll play 1 Trespasser for 1 Seer. I guess I only have 1 Trespasser anyways. Yeah, they did show. We're gonna keep it in 4 push for sure. Edict's also good against Emperor. The nuts. Definitely liking the ability to go turn 1 star and just like recoup later with the Shredder. It's not a big deal or even like a small deal. I guess it's I'll call it a small deal. It's just nice. Dude, this Shredder is gonna be like it's gonna be real big. Okay, they rumble. They hit 3 shifting woodlands and a fatal push. 1 less fatal push available for my Super Shredder, I guess. You ready for the Euro ban next week? I'll see myself out. I'm ready for some movement for sure. I would love to see some movement in Modern on Monday. There's a BNR announcement. They mill over a Sire of 7 deaths, a Harvester, and a Force of Despair. We'll see if they have a Persist for the Sire before I can K command. I feel like casting the Rumble like this kind of does imply that they have it. We do have some. We could maybe like dig for Sheoldred's Edict with K command. Yeah, I would love a Death Threat Shaman on ban. I would love a ban to Boros. I would also like a Wrath Disguise ban. I think that card would be great to leave the format. I think it's just way too efficient and restricts space. Blah blah blah. All right. There's an Emperor of Bones on top. It's pretty good. I wonder if it's better to go Graveyard Trespass on the. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go Graveyard Trespass the Harvester to contain the Emperor of Bones a bit, and then try to set up next turn for K command into. Oh no, but then K command into Edict doesn't work because they have another creature. Probably was worse than. First, I mean, I would like an Amulet ban. That's the Temple here or Spheres here is really good. Although they should have played the Emperor first. I do think Amulet is out of the bounds of what a card should be able to do in Modern. Blah 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 blah. Who cares? Yeah, I want to main phase this so I could Sheoldred's Edict next turn, even though it's worse with the Trespasser a little bit. Just an Evergreen. The card's too efficient. What about Affinity? I think Affinity is really inbounds right now. It's super beatable if you want to beat it. Every deck has good sideboard cards for it. Oh, Mike drew the Edict. Let's go. That was a swing, huh? It does have Menace. Still got some work to do. I saw your Cool But Rude League Dingo did with 1 Bondmaster, 4 Goblin Lore, and had better results. Thoughts? I don't know. Hollow One is a deck that you can do well with kind of no matter what you build. However, the card Cool But Rude did not test very well when we were playing the deck, so which feels important to note. So I could go Deadlands and maybe offer the trade. I have a second Damping Sphere. Okay, well now I want to wait on the Deadlands because of the Super Shredder. And I'll crack now because they could respond to this with Bowmaster. Like when we played the Cool But Rude League, like there were I think we were like 3 for 3. I cast Cool But Rude, we lose the game because we cast it instead of just like putting pressure in play. It was just not testing well. All right, I don't want to show the Deadlands yet because we're gonna cast this one. Fireball. I think the Damping Spheres make it to where if I find another K command off this, I don't have lethal. I did find another one. I think you were playing it wrong. Played on empty board turn 2 multiple times. Well, so maybe, right? Maybe that's the case. But I also like very much was just trying to play it as my turn 2 play because it's a 2-drop and I need to see how it is on turn 2 if I don't have a different play. You know what I mean? Oh, I can't undo. Probably would actually be better just to untap a K command again, but it's okay. We'll just find another one here. It's like I chose to play like sequencing is very weird with the card. I agree, and it's possible we could have tried to sequence better. I think I'm gonna keep both of these. I think there's a good chance they have a spell strand in their hand because of the spheres. But it's the new 2-drop. I'm casting it on turn 2 to see how it performs when you cast the 2-drop on turn 2. I don't know. I feel like that's totally fine. And if the card isn't good when you cast it turn 2, that's also pretty bad. I was right. Although not for the same reason, or the right reason, maybe. Nine Super Shredder. They block here, goes to 10-10. Another thing too is it's like cool but rude is good when you have resolve threats and pressure in play and then 4 extra mana. It's just I'm not a believer. Although when you get to play K Command in your deck is better because K Command it might be the strongest card in Modern. I think I would love to hear what your thought for the strongest individual card is. For me, it's Amulet of Vigor or it's K Command. And I don't even know what I'm putting at number 3, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. I might want to go with non-land card too, because like fetch lands are number 1, and then all that nonsense, but maybe not nonsense. Okay, so we're on the play against Storm, or sorry, on the draw against Storm. Play a Spellbomb first. We do have some Maze and a Damping Sphere on the sideboard. Oh, this could be a Belcher. So this is Belcher because of Spikefield Hazard. Hands down Fletch. I think if you say hands down anything, it's hard to take it seriously because it just is such a nuanced conversation. I think I kind of need to try to find a Thoughtseize here. I think it's hard to pick one of the Boros cards. I think the Boros cards are all individually very strong, and you get to play a lot of them. But it's hard. I don't think that they're stronger, but they're strong. Karn is probably somewhere top 10. Maybe top 10's pretty stacked. Saga is 3 cards in 1. Saga is also like really easy to blow out. Also, like, I guess in Affinity, it's like that now. But for a while, like Saga just wasn't even like you weren't making constructs. Okay, interesting. Are y'all Field of Ruining this turn, or are you Thought-Knot Seeing? Frog does much. Frog does a lot. Frog is also not seeing a lot of play in Modern at the moment, for what it's worth. Riddler's up there for sure. Solitude's up there. Could be an interesting video. As interesting as videos like that can be. So if I Field of Ruin them here, which I think I probably need to, I'm not going to be able to K command until I find another colorless source. And I'll probably sack the Spellbomb end of turn, maybe save the Star for the Super Shredder turn. They play a Ruby, which is intimidating. And then they don't have another land after casting a spell land last turn. So this unlocks the K command. I drew a Thoughtseize, so I think I want to get the Super Shredder online. I can describe a ton of situations where Amulet does absolutely nothing. Okay. I'm not doing this with you. I'm gonna take the Glimpse. Sometimes it does nothing because you draw really bad, I guess. So sometimes, if you don't draw your lands, Cake Event doesn't do anything. Just like if you don't draw your lands, Amulet doesn't do anything. I guess I'm doing this with you. Amulet sometimes does nothing. The card sucks, brother. It sometimes does nothing. It also sometimes is 1 mana, make 20 mana on turn 2. But sometimes it does nothing. Sorry, I can't. I'm okay. They found Glyphs, and they found Goblin Charbelcher, and we're dead. That's what I get. This is me being punished for taking the bait. Okay, we'll go see the list here. You know what? Your 1-mana artifact should sometimes do nothing. Alright, we're gonna bring in the maze. Bring in the damping spheres. Vexing Bauble does nothing. We're definitely way worse against Storm than we are against Belcher than we are against Storm, notably. I do have a Needle. Alright, let's get going. Mulligan to 7. Okay, I'm done with the bait here. I like having Field of Ruin on the play. We're already on a mulligan to 6. We can't really afford to go too much lower. I think I'm going to keep this. I'm going to put back the Fleshraker because I'm probably fielding on turn 3 and going Seer. After, hopefully, we can like bobble into some interaction, like a Damping Sphere or a May or a Needle. Opponent mulls to 6. Alright, can't really afford another Seer here. The one of Saga to get Needle is kind of interesting. I'm not saying Amulet's strong. I think K-Command is individually stronger. It's pretty tough. It's pretty tough. Like K-Command is I think you could make a good argument that that's the case. Like, you know, Amulet does one thing, but it does that one thing so insanely well, you know what I mean? So it's very appealing to take the Shadow Skull Smashing because our play next turn is Pithing Needle. But if they hit the untapped land, we lose the game. It's probably not quite worth it, is it? Now, we are cold to top deck Belcher and top deck Stormscale Sign. They just have more untapped lands. But thank you, Bistro, for giving me something to yell about. Alright, so let's field them so maybe we're not dead to the top decks here. No, it's a good Bistro. It was good. You were... You let me yell. It was fine. I see what you're saying, though. K-Command's fine. God forbid a deck that's not Amulet or Energy has good cards. Do you agree that K-Command is the strongest card in Modern? I think it's that or Amulet of Vigor. I think it's, you could make arguments for other cards, maybe, but it's hard to convince. So this this argument is like it's also very, very vibe based, very like fielding them doesn't seem great this turn. Let's Needle Charbelcher and then Thought-Knot Seer. Like the question is there a non-land spell that's a non-land permanent, a non-land card that's stronger than K-Command? You know, it's not a question of like, oh, Boros Energy is really good. Let's let Eldrazi have a broken card too. All right, so this is 3, 5, 6, 7. Most power and most decks. Probably not K-Command then. Why is most decks interesting at all for as a conversation piece? Most cards see play in only one deck in Modern. Why is most decks at all interesting? I don't know why people always bring this up to defend their broken card. It only is broken in one deck. Although that's not even true for K-Command. Yeah, I think Opal's up there. I agree. I'd say 1 Saga, 2 Second Frog, 3 K-Command. I feel like this is wild, but thank you for your feedback. I mean, it's good. I like to see a list. Genuinely, I like to see a list. How many cards did they drew? They drew 4 cards, so potentially they've gone way down on mana here. I think I'm going to field them. Amulet is strong, but also very easy to hit. I can't believe I got so sucked into this. I'm so sorry. But Amulet is also not easy to hate. This is just not true. When you compare, Amulet is a deck that kills on turn 2 very consistently. That can kill on turn 3 very consistently. That can kill on turn 2. when you compare that to every other deck that meets that criteria, Neoform, Storm, Belcher, Red Belcher, it is the only deck that has no really very strong 2-mana sideboard cards because of the presence of Beseiju. It's so, like, Damping Sphere is just not that good against them. All of the good sideboard cards are 3-mana. When the good sideboard cards that lock them out are 3-mana and it's a turn 3 combo deck, it's just, for me, I don't feel like this is an easy to hate deck. And maybe this is a bit too pedantic or whatever, but this is one of my main issues with Amulet, is like the sideboard cards against it are just too slow in general when you compare it to every other combo deck. And I know I've said this point a lot, but I like, there are cards that are good against it, but it's just not a deck that is easy to hate out. But let's we can move on here. Whereas Amulet Leagues, have they ascended from them? They do this pretty often, but I guess so. It is not there. No, Spike, you got them all wrong. It's not an easy deck to play hate cards against. It's a deck that's easy to fail hatred for. I see. I mean, the main Amulet guide calls out that the deck is weak to aggressive hate. Well, it's not really much of an argument. You know what I mean? It's not like... What are we even talking? Use your own thoughts too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, talk to me. What about what I said was wrong? What did I say was wrong? You know, when I said the problem with Amulet Titan is Damping Sphere is not that good against it because of Beseiju, and the 3-mana cards are too slow if you're on the draw. What about what I said was wrong there? And and when you compare it to Neoform and Storm, where every deck has a plethora of very good sideboard options against them, I can't respond to the Amulet guide says that it's weak to hate. This hand is sick. We have double Field of Ruin, and Needle for Belcher, and Damping Sphere. I'm sorry for getting so baited here. I'm so sorry. And again, at the end of the day, it's not personal. It's just cards. And if it feels like this is getting personal and serious, it's not. It's just cards. Dude, what a hand. We might just get turn 2 Dragon, though. Yeah, I know. I got so baited. I just can't. I mean, this happens every time there's a BNR coming up, so... just is what it is. And it's my fault. It's also my... I apologize for taking the bait. I think I'm going to go ahead and bobble because of the Damping Sphere here. They have a Sundering Eruption on top. Yeah, there's a BNR on Monday. So my plan at the moment is to go Field, maybe plus Spellbomb, into Field plus 2-drop here. I'm going to give a quick review of restaurants near Hearst Conference Center. Abuelos mad, tortillas were not great. I think Abuelos is okay. Broncos, vibes are strong and wings hit the spot. Hotel breakfast, they ran out of bacon day 2, so 2 of 5 stars. Nice. Hope you had a good time. Yeah, Field for Swamp also, that's true. Very important for possible Blood Moon. Might have lost to a Blood Moon this turn. It feels personal. I'm sorry if it feels personal. I genuinely, sincerely don't want anyone to ever feel bad because I'm yelling at them about cards. It's just cards at the end of the day. It's not that serious. There's a lot of serious stuff out there, and I want y'all to feel like this is a space where we can argue about cards. Wait, did they have this last game? I want y'all to feel like this is a space where we can come and argue about cards and not take it all personal. And so if I failed at that, I do really want to apologize. 2 5/5 flyers, huh? The amount that came out of the sideboard. Maybe it could have come out of the sideboard. It should have come out last game if it was there, right? I think I play Sephiroth this turn. The next turn I can go May Super Shredder and sack the May and then go to 1. What's a hypothetical 1 or 2 mana Titan hate piece that they could print? You know, one big issue is that they all die to Besage you really comfortably. But you know, there's a lot of cards. It would have to be hating on like lands that tap for 2 or more mana, similar to Damping Sphere, and they play the Belcher is needled. Okay, so go May, Super Shredder, attack, put them down to 10, and then we go to 11. And then my Super Shredder is going to get to be possibly growing by a bunch. But even like a, you know, some maybe like a 1 mana Damping Sphere that is just something similar to the only land hate, and so it's not like land and storm hate. That might be somewhat balanced. Yeah, 1 or 2 mana creature too, something along these lines. Yeah, we are dead to Spikefield Hazard. That's true. That'd be a sad way to go. Our first loss of the day here. Oh, come on, dude. So we would have drawn. Oh my gosh, we would have won. Dang, we would have won. Ugh. All right, so we're 6-1 with the deck. Deck bad. Titan isn't even very prominent. Titan tends to dominate the big tournaments and doesn't see a lot of play in leagues. Titan was the best deck at the last Modern Pro Tour. It's hard to not expect it to have a good Modern Pro Tour coming up. You know, it is what it is. In general, I think these Escape Titans are just bad design space, and I want to move away from them. I think that they have not been good gameplay pieces. So I would basically never advocate for an Uro unban on that point. But you also have to be you also have to know Uro is way better than it used to be. And if you're okay with that play pattern, you're okay with it. But you have to know that that's what you're saying when you advocate for it. It's a lot of lava darts against my Super Shredder. Because I have 2. I guess I'll take a Bolt. Battle with the 72. Welcome back. I agree with that, but the escape cards are really good for control. I like control. I mean, you have lots of other tools with control. You know what I mean? It's not like it's, but also, you know, of course, the real answer is, you know, I like Uro. I want Uro to be unbanned because I like it. And you know what? Valid. So if they find Delirium, we'll probably have to Spellbomb now. Still not a big believer in like the lesson talent build of these decks. I think it just kind of is cool. Uro would be good, but not game breaking. So like, I mean, is that like a good enough reason to unban it? Is that it wouldn't break the format? Because I don't think it is. Some people do. Uro would be better in modern than Oko. I think. I feel really strongly about this as well. It was stronger than Oko back when they were both legal, and Uro has gotten better and Oko's gotten worse. I guess I'm gonna go Thoughtseize plus Super Shredder. If we take the Lava Dart, then it doesn't kill my Super Shredder. We'll take the basics though. Probably cooked. I'm like 99% sure they were never legal together. I mean, they were legal around the same time, and I think it's pretty easy to compare them based on like the cards they were legal alongside with if they weren't legal at the same time. Uro used to have Mystic Sanctuary Field Dead. Yeah, and Oko had Mox Opal and Arkham's Astrolabe. Unban should only happen if they improve the format. I think Uro might help curb the Boros meta. I mean, for me, I am, you know, Boros Synergy has been a top 1 or 2 modern deck for 2 years now. I'm just like, through 3 bans, I'm pretty ready for something else to go from that deck. Okay, so now we can go Super Shredder plus K Command the Otter token. worked recently on any Omnath decks. You can always go to the Mox field and type Omnath and see. I don't think we've done much of any Omnath lately. Boros is okay at the deck to beat roll. I just think when a deck is top 1 or 2 for 2 years, it's like it's a failure of format management. I don't think everyone is going to agree that a deck can't be this dominant for this long, but I think that formats are better when any deck can fall out of favor. I played Modern Practice and started playing again. I've only played against Boros a few times. Yeah, those streaks where you played against it a bunch, it's definitely tough. All right, so let's go exile the token, draw a card. And also grows the Super Shredder. Boros fell out of favor for a bit after the Pro Tour, and immediately fell back into favor. Oh, they have a Spell Pierce as the one unknown card. Like, it did have a bad Pro Tour, and then just immediately came, like, right back. It is what it is. And now this is Delirious. I guess I can't go to 1. I guess we sack a Super Shredder to a Sephiroth. They kept a card on top, which is also going to be hard to beat. Yeah, I agree. I haven't really liked these builds of Prowess. Probably just should have main phased the K command. Would Fury help solve Boros being dominant, or would it play it, you think? I don't know that Boros would play Fury, but I will say that the attitude of unban Fury to help nerf Boros, it doesn't make sense. I don't think there's ever been an example of a successful time where, all right, I guess if we legend rule Sephiroth and they top deck nothing, we're alive. I can't think of a time where it's like unbanning an answer. An interactive card has been like a good move in a format. I just don't think it makes sense to like directionally do that. They did draw a land. We are alive here. We can Deadlands if we don't top deck anything. Right, they graveyard an Islet. They might attack and then send me down to 1, but then I go back up to 2, so they're not going to want to do that. They only have 1 dart left in the deck to like surveil into. Yeah, I think a Death Threat unban would be great. Maybe Mod Horizons was a mistake. Maybe. Yeah, I'm pretty happy that they landed on attack. So now I go to 2, and I go to 3 when I Deadlands here. They don't have a maybe I killed the Otter. No, I'll kill this. And then we want to leave the Sephiroth back. Dead to an Academic Disputes. Is Punishing Fire even good enough sub energy? I think it would not be very good against them. It might be okay. Like they do trigger your Punishing Fire, but it would be very slow, yes. I don't think that they would be really reeling from it, you know what I mean? Okay, so now we're out of bolt range. These games where you sack Deadlands for value are so cool. All right. They also have nothing to return to the Storm Chaser's talent. They might just level anyway, so they can level again. Although, I guess this game might be a little slow for that. They do Preordain. They put 2 cards in the bottom. It's not too slow. Energy and Legacy is very much kept in check against Punishing Fire. I might need a fact check on that, but I don't know enough about it to dispute it. Y'all play around Spell Pierce here? I think it would be a little cowardly to do so, though they did show us a main deck Spell Pierce already. Huh, they just didn't plot that. So we could sack the Thought-Knot Seer and draw a card. Or we could just... How do they win the game? I mean, they do something Prowess doesn't do that often, is like brick once or twice. All right, I'm going to bring in the Graveyard Trespasser. I'm going to bring in the extra Vexing Bauble. I'm going to go down 2 Seers. I guess I'll bring in the Edicts also. Got to keep in Thoughtseize for Quarry Steelcutter. Probably go down a Sephiroth also. Could be a little clunky. They drew land 3 turns. I think it was only 2 turns, but maybe I'm misremembering. This is sweet deck, Sephiroth with Eldrazi tokens. I'm hooked. Bands never hit him. I know. It sucks to be like, I got so baited. It's really on me for not managing things well here, but like we trophied with this deck today. No, I didn't see any birthing pods in the unbanned league. I think birthing pod is like even a good bit worse than birthing ritual, so not a big believer. All right, let's play around Spell Pierce this time. Another detriment to Storm Chaser's talent. Now, my opponent could just cast a Quarry Steel Cutter. That attack was bad, could have won. Yeah, I agree. I don't think they realized that Sephiroth triggers on their stuff, maybe. Maybe they have Boomerang basics here. If the Unbanned Shaman would Ketramos be able to compete with Riddler for the format's card advantage engine? It would try. Like, we'll test it, but I don't exactly have like super high hopes. Let me play the Super Shredder. It is pretty likely to die. They might mess up on the Scalding Tarn crack, and if it does live, it's really good with the K command. Maybe you could go K command this turn, but it's not going to be for a lot. Serious questions. Cards like Bloodbraid Elf are unplayable because it doesn't consistently cascade into Thought 3-drop that often, or it's because it's a 4-mana 3/2 haste. I really like Bloodbraid Elf in the Cascade Birthing Ritual deck. Bloodbraid Elf was also good in Cascade Beans, so it is occasionally good. It is occasionally good, but you do like you have to be playing like a Cascade build with it, I think. Do you think Nato Snow could compete in today's Modern? It's pretty bad against Prowess and Boros. So they only have 2 cards in their hand. Phoenix with Ketras so intriguing. We played a little bit of Phoenix Ketramos. Could be a deck to come back to. I think that was an idea from a friend of mine. Do we think that they could ever have a counterspell as one of their last cards? I think I'm gonna not play around it. All right. So I go play star, draw star, play star, draw. Yeah. Liking the stars, by the way. The Dallas hockey team is, of course, what I'm talking about. More dots with the 8 months. Welcome back, homie. That's a really bad one to see on top, I guess. So seeing that on top, let's go ahead and hold the spawn token and the Chromatic Star so I can rebuild the Super Shredder after it gets bounced. Although we are, I guess, kind of hoping that they bounce their own stuff. Sacks the Islet, Super Shredder grows. Yeah, I mean, at this point, sacking their own stuff is sort of death. Marionette Apprentice can be a swap for Sephiroth. I think Sephiroth has been a lot better in this build. Maybe somehow Apprentice is better. Like, it does trigger on the artifacts. Better on the mana curve. Could be. I'm going to take 5, I think. Why not using Prismatic Vista as well? We are. There's 4 of in the deck. If you are curious if the cards in the deck, you can always go !deck or moxfield.com/user/aspiring spike and take a peek. Why is Mystic Sanctuary so much better than Cottage or Dwarven Mine? Because instants or sorceries are good at any point in the game, and they don't have summoning sickness, and they put themselves in the graveyard. Alright, so my opponent's top card is a Lava Darts. Oh, maybe I should have bubbled myself, because maybe I would have cast Thoughtseize if I saw it. Could be a fun turn, I hope. In their upkeep, they spend blue-red to replicate Consign on my Bauble triggers. Cool. Then they play a Mountain. Their hand is Lava Dart Mystery card. They Lava Dart me, which triggers the Quarry Steel. If I could be any emergency response vehicle, which one would I be? Not a helicopter. I don't trust helicopters. So if I block like this, yeah, I think it should be pretty safe. Compared like I just win the fight against the dart because the dart triggers the super shredder. I can get if they have something random, I can get this up to 5/5 anyways. And if they have something not random like a bolt or a dart as the last card, there's not like much like the block is not gonna be much different either way. So they lava dart my super shredder. I think I really beat this. Unless I'm dead to the prowess triggers, which I don't, because I blocked this one, so I don't think I am. I don't know why they didn't dart the token. Yes, but yeah, this is a 5/5. Oh, it's 5/5 against a 4/4. It does lose. Dang. So I'm at 6. They've got 2 copies of Lava Dart, 2 Quarry Steel Cutters, 2 unleveled Storm Chasers Talents. We're probably going to game 3. All right, and we've got 4 lands. On the play. Definitely like this hand. Opponents in the tank on their 7. So they didn't play a 1-drop. Got some interesting stops here too. I think drawing the second Fleshraker, I'm gonna jam the first one. They have a Consign or a Bolt is not so good, but all right. Sometimes you just gotta jam. So Saffron Olive posted a deck that is similar to many decks you made in the past. Vince Yachts, I built a machine to infinitely crack clues for free. Historic. This looks really similar to the canister builds that were like pretty pop, or he played a lot of in Image too. Y'all, this lesson build is very sus. I don't know what to tell you. They get a firebending lesson. I guess it's a 2-mana removal spell. Yeah, canister like to play the Leonis cryptozoologist builds with Court of Calling, Coco. I played a little bit of them. I never loved them. Never loved them. We're taking 3. They have 4 cards in their hand. Could be a good turn to Field of Ruin when they can't like dart flashback dart. Not that they would necessarily want to do that in the spot, I guess. I'm gonna put the hand hider up. I'm gonna put the hand hider up. Our record on stream is 3-1 today. Overall record with the deck is 6-1. We trophied the last league after starting off stream 3-0. I don't really want to redeploy this. I think I'm okay just sacking here. New Selfie tech. Yeah, I could see Selfie playing something like this. This was an original brew, just like everything else on the channel, though. So maybe they're going to get multiple baubles out of their hand. The players you play in the evenings seem casual. You always do so well in the evenings. I I don't really feel like it's that different, honestly. I mean, I played against 3 tier 1 decks, um, and I won 3 matches in a row. Technically, same record on stream and off stream today. I did lose a match to the rack, and then I made some changes to the deck. I wasn't playing the Deadlands, and I think that was a pretty big mistake. Hand hiding leagues now. My opponent just got some weird upkeep stops that just like appeared. So I feel like I just and then they did just kind of go away when I put the hand hider up. So I don't feels fine to hand hide. Doing a flashback dart, that's okay. For your Young Wolf Cauldron list, is it worth looking at Wall of Roots and Chord? Wall of Roots and Bliss under Cauldron is infinite mana. So you have Stringer the Stringer Geist plus Delighted Halfling is infinite mana for the win. I understand the combo with Wall of Roots, but like we could even look a little bit deeper at what we're asking here, right? You're asking effectively, Spike, can you play stock Yawgmoth? And the answer is yeah, that is something that's allowed. Stock Moth, if you will. Right, they showed a spell pierce. I'm gonna go and use the Edict here. What deck is that? Sounds like we're gonna go over it between rounds because I'm very excited for this deck today. I am very excited for a backup deck that you're referring to, and I also have another backup deck that is maybe emergency. We need to play test it because it could be broken. So, and I start out 3-0 trophy with this deck today, so it's a very exciting day to be over here. Twitch.tv/Spike. And I'm not sure what we're gonna do next. I don't know if I want to play another league of this. I don't know if I want to pivot. I'm gonna try to keep kind of open here. Does the Yogg not play Chord and Wall of Roots anymore? I mean, so there are versions of Chord that play Wall of Roots and versions of Yogg that play both of those. So maybe I shouldn't have said stock Yogg. I should have said stock Yogg from like 2 years ago. We're 2-1 here. Our only loss was to Mono Red Belcher. Weirdly, with the best hand we had against them. We were gonna win because we were gonna have a lucky top deck, but they Spikefield hazarded me in 1 life. It looks way better than all the Sewer Valence decks, if I'm gonna be quite honest. It's we've got a couple days to the challenge. This deck could go. Any 3 of these decks could go in the challenge. So hopefully we can get a good amount of reps in. Basic Waste and String Geist deck. Yeah, maybe we should play Yavimaya over Beseiju. I would have never guessed Super Shredder is the most brewed with card from Toots Turtles. It just goes in a lot of different packages that are also like similar to Moonshadow and different from Moonshadow. Like it goes in the Moonshadow deck, it goes in this deck. It also goes in Soul Trader, which we haven't gotten to yet. So my opponent has Bowmaster. Let's get in there, I guess. If they Bowmaster, I think I just wait. If I exile the Bowmaster and Scrydraw, do they trigger Bowmaster? I guess it matters with the order. Wait, chat. We found this card is not as good as it possibly could be. If the exile was above the Scrydraw, it would be better. But they have Felia. So let's do this now because of Bowmaster. Don't think I want a second Fatal Push. Yeah. Any playing more Rodmouth Affinity? Any ideas for more updates? Not exactly. Love to draw a land. I guess I don't want to attack because I don't want to push the Bowmaster because I don't want to give them. I don't want to give them a creature in the graveyard. Okay, but now I'm gonna Now I guess we'll be fielding. I'm gonna field the blue source now. So we let them cast the Overlord, then we let the we let them cast the Overlord, and then we let the trigger resolve, then we push the Felia. But then maybe they can just play a second Overlord here. They might be out of basics also. They found an Emperor or a Riddler. But thankfully they don't play around Fatal Push. That being said, the Riddler is a bit scary. They exile my K commands because they want to play around removal. Let's see what we have on top here. I can Deadlands the Emperor. We have a Chromatic Star, which is fine. It's fine. It's not anything too special, and I think I should field plus Deadlands here. Is Shredder's Soul Trader deck going to be an airship deck? Probably yes. I do think airship is still good in that archetype. So they are out of basics. We draw a Thought-Knot Seer. We know their hand is Overlord, Bowmaster, 2 mystery cards. A lot of Deadlands activations today. They play another Overlord to get back the Felia, which my Thought-Knot Seer can't break up, which is a problem, I guess. So if I play I can go second Fleshraker into Seer. Very good draw. So this is going to deal 1 damage, and then the Seer is going to deal 4 damage. No, 6 damage, 8 damage. Okay, so we get to force the trade, right? By my calculations, yeah, because each spawn is 2. There's 2 spawns. Oh, it's 6. It's 6 damage. So we do get to force the trade on the Felia, which is a huge deal here. Gotta take that. So we do lose the Fleshraker. My opponent has a Bowmaster, which can buy them a turn. Why not attack first? They may not block. Huh. I was just really focused on stopping them from getting to do the Felia Overlord thing. I guess I just, yeah, you're right. I could have just tried to kill him. That tends to be pretty good. All right, I think I'm going to do 0, maybe 1 Nihil Spellbomb, 2 Vexing Bauble. I don't think Spellbomb is very good against them. Probably 1 less Seer. Maybe just no Spellbombs. I mean, they are playing Emperor. They are playing Emperor. Yeah, we should have attacked first. Although if they do block, then we do less damage. Maybe we, I don't know. Maybe we should have, maybe it was wrong. Or it was right. It was probably one of those 2 things. Maybe just no Seers on the draw. Do 1 less Bauble, 1 less Seer. Attacking first was bad? Yeah, I think so. Because if they do block, it's just so much less damage. I think we play the Spellbomb. I'm going to save it for the Fleshraker. I'm going to save the Bauble for the Fleshraker, I think. Interesting that Felia was pretty unplayable. During the initial MH3 release, and then they just printed a lot of cards that are great with it. So I'm going to play the Bauble, I'm going to play the Super Shredder, and then I don't want to crack the Bauble now, because they can kill my Super Shredder, unless they just don't mess up on the fetch. Okay, so now I'm going to crack it now. Or I'm going to crack it after they fetch. A lot of people not super used to playing against Super Shredder. Still very new card, of course, and just like a huge part of this card is your opponent just grows it for you. Maybe they just have a Fatal Push. Okay, so now we're gonna wait till their upkeep. So if they do Bowmaster, they're not gonna get the Bauble, because we can Fatal Push the Bowmaster in our upkeep. They've got a Trawler as one of their 5 cards after they draw. Shredder's an interesting card to me because he's just a beater. He doesn't provide a beater with menace is a really big deal. But you're right, he is that is true. I mean, like one thing with Super Shredders, like Moon Shadow's been a really effective card. Nethergrave's been an effective card. These cards are 1 mana though, but it has been great. Why Star over Sphere? If your opponent kills it, that's actually happened today. You still get to draw a card. Someone with a Bloom commanded it. The upside to Sphere is that your opponent cannot respond to it with Bowmaster, which I think is a little bit marginal. I think I'll save the Vista for a possible top deck Shredder and take 1 extra damage. Maybe this is a little loose. I guess I have to take the Felia. They don't have any blue mana for the Consign at the moment. Seems like Watsy's a big fan of these creatures that punish and synergize with fetch lands lately. I agree. I think they're really good design space because they're like usually really safe for standard. Although maybe Juan is good in standard. I don't know. But they tend to be good for modern. So they did draw blue mana, so they can't. You can consign the You can consign the Spellbomb trigger. Let me see if they want to consign the. Well, no, you know what? Maybe not. Yeah, I think I probably just like if they fetch a blue source off the strand, I'll just field it, and then they just won't be able to consign anything. Consign no Riddler can't be right. They have Riddler. We saw Riddler last game. There are fetch lands in standard, like Fabled passages in standard. One is good in standard because of flash. The rest of the deck's icing on the cake. Interesting. They do not get blue mana, which is also interesting, knowing about the Nihil Spellbomb. I'm going to go ahead and... Well, I guess I just don't, right? They didn't keep a card. Let's go ahead and crack this now because of Bowmaster and Consign. Do you think they'll bring fetches back to standard similar how they did with Capenna? I mean, yeah, I mean, like, the Capenna ones were, like, pretty Evolving Wild-esque, but they were kind of broken with Aftermath Analyst. So I don't know if they would print that kind of design space. I think that Aftermath Analyst Capenna deck was like not very good for standard. What was this? Fatal Push, Consign, Mystery card. We're done to 14. Let me see my top card here. I don't want that. Okay, I do want that. They don't have Revolt for Fatal Push right now. Hopefully they don't draw one, but set up maybe good for next turn. Alright, so they do find blue mana for Consign. They could also maybe Hardcast a Solitude here. They could have warped this Riddler or hardcast this Riddler. Or they couldn't because they have only 1 blue. Oh, they drew Flicker Wisp off the Riddler. I mean, that's pretty annoying, but we can play through this. So now I think I want to go Chromatic Star. And crack for a black. Probably going to cast the Thought-Knot Seer first here. Pretty interested in saving the Fatal Push for the Sephiroth turn, but maybe this it's like yeah, I think I need to Thought-Knot Seer the Fatal Push this turn. The next turn we can kind of go off with the Sephiroth. Okay. We'll try to just do 1 trigger at a time so they can't really do too much with the Consign, right? So they don't get to draw an extra card off the Riddler right now. We also have Field of Ruin for Hallowed Fountain so we could potentially just get them off of the Consign, depending on what we draw maybe. The Analyst deck would be tier 8 right now in standard. That's right. I mean, I have not been keeping up. It's interesting. They drew Solitude. I mean, this is really bad for us, but not the end of the world. Attacking only for 3. Maybe I go play Sephiroth. Yeah, I think I go play Sephiroth and then Deadlands the Solitude. And then they're gonna go to 3, and then I could sack the Thought-Knot Seer and flip Sephiroth. Sack the Seer first because I have to. Oh baby. Are they dead? So this is, yeah, they're dead. They're just dead. I'm a little bit disappointed because I thought the other line was cooler. Do this in response so they can't draw Solitude. Burn with the 7 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Appreciate you. The other line was definitely cooler, but all right, let's get a 4-1 prediction. I'm feeling great about the deck. We trophied our last league. We lost a very funny game 3 to Mono Red Belcher. I'm feeling awesome about the deck at the moment. Definitely a fine hand. Let's see what, I'm gonna keep. We'll see what develops. Would obviously prefer to be on the play here. They lead on a canal, so maybe another Bora or oh no, this is Affinity. I was gonna say Prowess matchup. Not the craziest Pinnacle Emissary start. Let's just go ahead and go Super Shredder into Bauble next turn, and then maybe we can set up into K Command plus or K Command into Sephiroth probably. Maybe we'll get got by Metallic Rebuke, but maybe if they rebuke the Sephiroth or if they rebuke the Shredder, then the K Command it could be free. Might take a turn off the Field of Ruin. So if they rebuke this, I'll probably end up holding the Bauble. Yeah, let's hold the Bauble here so that I can sculpt my draw with the Field of Ruin a little bit. Although I guess I kind of always have to main phase, don't I? Maybe if I see exactly Fatal Push on top, I wouldn't. Oh, interesting. They go cast Emissary instead of Construct Token because they have an Explosives. They have another Claws. I guess they didn't have these in their earlier hand here. So I take 1. If I do see exactly Fatal Push off the Bauble, it's going to be kind of interesting. I don't, so not as interesting. But now the plan is to go next turn, K Command, untap, and flip Sephiroth. I guess I'm only making 3 spawn tokens, so won't quite be able to flip, but maybe I can kill some of their stuff. I drew a Fleshraker, okay. Maybe we cast Sephiroth next turn. I don't know. There's a lot of options. They have another Urza Saga, then they sack the Isle. They got 2 cards in their hand. And they have a Kappa Cannoneer, which is good. It's good here. And they also have Metallic Rebuke, so we lose. That's bad. It's a bad thing to lose here. I think I'm gonna main phase the K Command. I think it's a little bit better to do it this way. Then we can go like try to find some spells to go Fleshraker spells, Sephiroth next turn. But they're just probably gonna rebuke this. They didn't. Fatal Push isn't like the worst ever. Seer's not very good. Right. So we'll see if we're dead. All right, I think I'm going to commit to playtesting the new Sewer Valence build. That looks kind of broken. I do not say that lightly because I have not really been a big fan of the previous Sewer Valence builds, but we're playing April K Command Fleshraker and it looks kind of insane. I built it this morning and we're just doing an emergency playtest with it after this match. And we can save the other Sephiroth deck for later too. We're doing that despite being I don't know if I want to count it 7-1 or 7-2 because I do feel like my deck was just kind of misbuilt on the 1 loss last night. Despite having a good record with this deck, I do feel like some of the lessons from this deck we're about to play it's like pretty heavily inspired from No Bandless Modern. All right, so this is 8 plus. Yeah, I'm gonna have to block the Emissary. Oh, am I dead? I am exactly dead. It took him a little bit of time to count there. It's okay. Alright, so we're going to bring in the extra Vexing Bauble. We're going to bring in the Edicts. Not a super good lineup against them, unfortunately. I'm going to cut the Spell Bombs. I'm going to go down. Probably 2 Seers. Probably play 1. Maybe a Needle over a Break the Ice. Maybe 1 Break the Ice over a Seer. Okay, let's do this. Imagine if Ward also worked while the spell was in the stack. What do you mean? Like if you targeting the Kappa Cannoneer triggers Ward and the spell is on the stack. Maybe I misunderstand. Is new deck weak to Endurance? Not really. Although my finger may hate me after playing Sewer combo again. We're gonna finish this match. I don't like getting so ahead of myself, but I woke up like feeling like I had 2 really exciting decks, and then just because of these decks and because of no Banless Modern, this one kind of got to emerge. I don't love this. Let's go to Mulligan. I don't absolutely hate it though. Okay, I love this one. Oh, no. I obviously want to put back a Fatal Push here. We even have a push up for turn 1 Imri or Emissary. Magic Online. One day I'll be an arena streamer. That is not this day. So are y'all playing the Bauble this turn or saving it for next turn? I think I'm saving it for next turn. Partially because of the Revolt. Dang, my opponent does not play the Emissary turn 1, playing perfectly around Fatal Push. Tough stuff. So we want to Bauble on their turn, so if they replay the Emissary, you can Fatal Push it. Well played, opponent. I guess we have Revolt anyways because of the spawn token. As you want to put up results with Surveillance. We played against it in the top 8 of the challenge on Friday and of the Swiss, but I haven't really been a big fan of like these Goblin Engineer versions. I think they look pretty bad. They're just very easy to play against. I don't know if they're just been getting percentage points because they're easy to play against and like people don't know how to play against them yet or what's going on. Why is there emergence deck? Okay, just we'll finish this match. I'll show you. I just think it like looks kind of broken, and this is coming from someone who has been not liking the Surveillance combo deck. I figured out a build that looks like dangerous. Maybe I'm just overhyping myself, but it's like for me, I think it's an emergency test. Opponent is in the old tank here, huh? Yeah, we are gonna play the Grinding Station deck next. All right, my opponent's not doing anything. I guess I'll pull it up. So it's very similar to this show, but we're playing K Command, Glaring Fleshraker, and April. We've already done a lot of K Command April. K Command April is very good. And it's like Fleshraker is like this is like the perfect backup to the combo, I think. It's like you draw a ton of cards with April, then you dump your hand with Fleshrakers, you just kill them, and then you also just have the faster Surveillance hands. You also just have the faster Surveillance hands. I mean, it's possible moving away from the combo is good. We got to test it though. I suppose it's the new stuff, but I just feel like this build looks so dangerous to me. Yeah, I'm really a big fan of Test of Talents in these archetypes. Can we play a copy of Dust Machines? I think that you'd have to certainly at least suggest a cut for it to add it. My opponent does no attacks, or no attack with a Kappa Cannoneer, and then attack with three drones, leave Kappa Cannoneer back. After tanking for like 3 minutes, and then they hold up interaction instead of playing the Pinnacle Emissary. I draw a card off Bauble, right? So let's Thoughtseize them. See why they took this line. Because they have 2 copies of Metallic Rebuke. They can only play one of them, so I guess I'm taking the weapons. And I'll play the Super Shredder, which can grow pretty big. But I do have to spin some spawns here. Surprised not to see any sync in Sewer over Rivulet. Yeah, Rivulet taps for a colorless and then cast your spells. We maybe have too many colorless spells, but it's like it's really important you can cast Fleshraker earlier in this deck compared to the black deck because you have Box Opal, which can't cast it, but you want to be able to play it earlier. What do you think as Basim as a swap with April? I feel pretty confident April is better in this archetype, beyond just being easier on the mana. April's been super. I don't know if you have watched the other April decks. April is like insane with these cards, and I think April got a lot better because of the fast combo. And April got better also. It's like you go April, you draw like 4 cards, and you dump them with the Fleshraker. You know, no attack. Well, if we attack, we're dealing 2 damage, and then they block with a Kappa Cannoneer, we lose a Fleshraker. Yo, this. Oh, they tapped it. Wait, they didn't tap this, did they? They had 3 mana up. Did they tap the Cannoneer to the Rebuke? They shouldn't have. Okay, they do have another Rebuke in their hand. Did I blunder? Okay, they didn't need to do that. Are we still in this? Are we in this game? We're about to win, bucko! You're not asking me about this game. Thanks, Commander. Doing my best over here. All right. So we're going to game 3. Is this deck called Mono Black Supervillains? Maybe it should be. Maybe. Oh, although we have a deck that's also playing Sephiroth, Super Shredder, and Yawgmoth. So that one's Golgari Supervillains. Let me change. Great suggestion. Let me change the Mox field before we get to it. Although I don't think we're gonna get to it today. I was having a really tough time naming this deck too. Super Shredder Eldrazi Cauldron. So Golgari Supervillains is that one's pretty good. All right, I keep opponent mold to 6 on the play. Any thoughts? Any thoughts? Any thoughts? The consign's pretty good. I think I just must take this weapons because it's too good with the Kappa. Maybe we can bait consign on Pithing Needle next turn. I did not see the Spider-Man trailer. I don't like to watch trailers for movies I know I'm gonna watch. So I'm not planning on watching it. I am planning on I'm gonna watch the movie for sure. So I am not gonna watch the trailer. Alright, let's name Engineered Explosives. Engineered Explosives. Villain 2 Eyes. Okay, I'll fix it tomorrow. It's just Spider-Man 2 again. Spider-Man, was it Far From Home? I loved that movie. I guess we just chill. The one where he's in England. I'm like the only one in the world maybe that just loves that movie for some reason. That one felt the most Spider-Man-y to me, like kind of classic Peter Parker struggling, everything's going wrong kind of Spider-Man. Right. Maybe you should take Consign there. I think I'm just too scared to cap him. I feel Hacktivist is so expensive for mana. Have you seen us play it before? It's been really, really good. You also have a bunch of fast mana in the deck. Weird game. They tap out for Ravager. Then they play a Mox Opal.
So they do have Consign up. And they have a Welding Jar to protect the Ravager now. So I'm going to go ahead and get a Swamp here. I think I just want to, because they have the Welding Jar, I think I just want to trade this for Consign. How do I feel about Ravager list showing up in Affinity again? I mean, it's fine. Like, it's mostly because of weapons. It's not, like, really playing the same as it used to. You have, like, almost nothing to modular onto besides Emissary stuff and Kappa. It is totally fine. I'll say that I remember, like, we tested it pretty early with weapons, and it didn't test very well, and I don't know exactly, like, what changed that people like it now, or if anything did change. I mean, it's maybe, like, slightly suboptimal, but that's definitely a reasonable include. Okay, we don't know any cards in our opponent's hand. It's good to have Break the Ice for this Urza Saga. Was I talking about MCU Spider-Man or Go to Spider-Verse? I mean, I really, really like the Spider-Verse, but, like, everyone likes those movies. The second Tom Holland Spider-Man movie that Marvel made, I really like that one, and I thought the new one with Tobey Maguire was fun, but I really like the second one. I just thought it was a great Spider-Man movie. Oh, they have a Claws of Gix. That's the card we know about. Oh, for the trailer. Yeah. Again, I'm not gonna watch the trailer because I know I will watch this new Spider-Man movie. I will watch it for sure. And if I don't watch trailers for stuff I know I'm gonna watch. Right, get in for 4. I'm not gonna push main phase because of the Welding Jar. I'll push upkeep. We will get to grow the Shredder off of it. Very weird game. We had to take the turn off of casting Fleshrakers too because of the whole Urza Saga situation. Imri with Kappa Cannoneer in the yard, although they're pretty far away from playing it. There's explosives. We have Needle on explosives. Okay, they're not far away from playing it. Just a land or a creature. So I guess we want to attack for 5 and then K command the Kappa Cannoneer when they go for it with Imri. And then probably make a spawn token. How would you compare April to Crystal Soul and Raker Surveillance Camera deck? I mean, with K command in the deck, I think it's better. What's nice about the Crystal Skull is you have the library manipulation and mana generation with Urza. You have mana generation with Fleshraker, but you have a lot of blue that you're missing on. How late do you arrive to movies to dodge trailers? I don't know. I just kind of get there when I get there. I don't really think about it. How did Mill and Kitsune play if you played it? We went 2-2, really 2-3, because we're playing against Boros. I'm like, okay, we can't beat Boros, which is probably true of all Mill builds. But the technique was like, it was very powerful. It was very powerful when you did it. And it did feel like you could do it pretty consistently playing Tamio, 4 Tamio, 2 Wand, and 8 Crabs. It's kind of like, it felt like to some extent Grief Scam, where you get to do this really powerful thing, but you have like Feign Death in your deck. And so like when you drew Technique without a card to sneak, that was bad, of course. My opponent's a tanker, and I'm like dying to go to the next match here. I haven't been to many movies lately. I think the only movie I've seen like the last several months has been Goat, okay, I think if they're gonna target Bauble, we're gonna let that go. The basketball movie. Is the weapons manufacturing affinity still potent? Yeah, I think it's a top deck. It's definitely pretty beatable if you want to beat it. It still has game against the hate cards and stuff. Would like 2 of the sneak mill card be better? Yeah, you don't have to play 4. I think that's an answer you could get after playing a lot of the deck, and I don't feel like I played enough of the deck to give you a cohesive answer to that. I might chump block. Probably won't, but let's just see what we find here. If they can't really sack much to Ravager here because they're just gonna die to my Super Shredder. They tap a red. They Galvanic. Is your hand 2 Galvanic Blasts? If their hand is 2 Galvanic Blasts and they thought for like 3 minutes at the beginning of their turn, I mean, I'll lose. I can't do anything. I'll just lose, but that'll be super annoying. I'm glad we chose to try to block here. Literally, how did this turn take this long? Okay, we're dead. Okay. Pretty good 2 last cards there. So we 3-2 this league. We trophied the first one. Pretty exciting. If this deck ends up flopping and the other deck ends up flopping, maybe that'll be our challenge deck Friday. Maybe it'll be a challenge deck Monday. Here comes the emergency playtest. So like you saw in this league, just getting to play Fleshraker K-Command